Thought I was live for a minute. Hello, everybody. Just, it's a beautiful day. Look at the background. No, it is supposed to, we're supposed to have black ice tonight. Good thing I don't have to go anywhere. I do have an appointment tomorrow. Hopefully the roads won't get too bad, but I'm just doing audio today. So I figured I'd put a nice little background. How's everybody doing? Just wanted to give a couple new updates. I know I say this a lot, but I can't be on long because I got to finish these edits I've been doing. So I saw these couple new things come up and I'm like, you know what? I could do a quick live update. It's hard for me to do quick videos. If those of you that have been around know me, it's hard for me to get off. I just want to keep doing more, finding more, talking or whatever. But I'm going to try my hardest to keep this just quick. I got about a few updates. Okay. So the first one, I don't know if you guys seen this. There's a new video on Nick's YouTube channel. I know a lot of people are posting clips, but I have the whole thing. I went and grabbed the whole thing. A lot of people are just, well, at least, like Entertainment Tonight or USA or whatever. I saw they have shorts and they're just doing like parts of it. So I'm like, I want to see the whole thing. So I went and got the whole thing. Now I had to mute some parts that played music. It's like he did it in 2016. Like I said, it's on his YouTube channel and it's the only thing on his channel. He just has one video. It's this video. It's from September 14th, 2016. Okay. How many of you guys have seen it? Yes, I know, Carolina. That's one of my I'm sorry. That's one of the things I'm working on. I wanted to get that finished yesterday. I was going to put it, there's four different, I think 3 or 4 different times he's on there and I have them all. And I was going to just have a compilation of all the times he went on there and put it to pictures. So like I said, I wanted to have it done yesterday, but I finally got some sleep. So I was working on it just now when I saw these new updates and I'm like, let me hurry up and do this. That's one of the things I have to finish because I'm putting like a bunch of pictures with it. But yes, I listened to him. He goes on there like 3 times. One time it's really quick. And then one time is a little bit longer and the other time's like in the middle. But yes, it is interesting. It is. Yes. How many people have seen the video I'm talking about on YouTube that he does? Hey Johnny, put a 1 if you've seen it and a 2 if not. I am gonna pull it up and we'll watch it and then I'll go over some of the other quick updates and then I'll call it a night. Okay, cool. All right, cool. I like when it's new for some of y'all. All right, let me share my screen. And we will get started. I pulled up. Like I said, they're the silent. Whoa, that's loud. It starts off really loud because the audio is horrible. He probably is using like the maybe mic from the phone or something. So it's like the real loud part of it is just like blaring. But you know what else I think he did? I think in the editor he turned it up so loud, so it sounds when they talk, it sounds pretty bad. I didn't turn it up. This is how it was recorded. So I like when I put it in my editor to mute some of the parts, I didn't turn it up. So just get ready. It starts off kind of high. Are you guys ready? I'm going to start it right now. Okay. So just be careful with your ears. All right. As long as you're prepared, it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, here we go.
Everyone wants to know how you get your exercise in because you're so lean.
I do it like ISIS. I usually only do 1 at a time.
So here, there's music, just music. So it's not like we're missing anything. This is interesting though. He uploaded this in 2016. His movie came out in 2016. So
And I don't even care if anyone calls me a Sally because I'm a snail and I'm never gonna fucking fail. And you know what? You're gonna have to bail me out of jail.
Can you guys hear though? I hope I worry that I have my earphones on again. I didn't check to see.
Where'd you get this weed?
Say and spell your first and last name for me.
Well, I ain't gotta tell you my first and last name. Most people know me as David.
We're wondering
Do you
what.
know how long this interview is gonna be?
You're gonna say I'm an asshole?
This is our producer, Katya. So this book, this is one of my favorite reads when I'm sitting by the campfire or like relaxing in Malibu.
And it's all rock and roll based. Sorry. I'm not into this rap thing, you know.
But that hurts my feelings, but like I love rock and roll as well, so I'm glad we can.
Okay,
connect on
good,
that.
good. See you in Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait for Japan.
Why did you, when you were sitting by the campfire, why did you invite all those young kids to come sit by the fire and have you read to them about it? I mean, I thought that was kind of odd.
That is totally falsified in every way.
Yeah, falsified.
Fuck Donald Trump. No. He's my man. He's my man.
It isn't as loud through there. It's really loud for me. I mean, but it's up as loud as it can go. There is going to be muted parts, so don't mistake that. That's because it's the music. There's not supposed to be sound right here. I mean, he has music playing, and I can't like popular songs that would be copyrighted. I guess I should have wrote it down so you guys knew which one, like what was playing. One of them is like look, oh, his sister's in it. Romy's in it. Mr. Slave he's got. This is that one song.
No introduction. Jenny from the cul-de-sac, of course. She has a boyfriend now who's
That's Romy. That's his sister right there, guys. Just if people didn't know, that's her. And they're either smoking a joint or they're smoking a rolled cigarette. Because I mean, it's rolled, freshly rolled, but people sometimes can roll their own tobacco. I used to. It was cheaper. I didn't all the time, but at one point, like when we were broke, me and Randy was like, let's start rolling our own. But then it got so much of a hassle that we just were like, screw it, we'll pay for it. I don't smoke anymore, but when we used to. All right, I want to rewind it 1 minute. Oh wait, I rounded it too much. Okay.
I guess it could have been pretty awkward when PETA approached you about joining their team.
I'm gonna go kill that fucking dog.
Why do you like Snapple so much?
Mainly because when I'm done drinking it, I can go in my room and squirt lotion in it and then use it to stick my penis in. Sometimes I just come out to gather my sick thoughts. They know the David who go on stage, who has his ways about him, but you know, they really want to know what's inside. Because I like fucking spat on his windshield.
I think we would all just be blown away if you could kind of walk us down Freestyle Alley. Oh, look, there's one of your fans now.
That's Barbara. She's blind, so that's why she didn't see the wave. The geniuses, the brilliant ones, the people. I'm referring to myself, if you're curious.
You know, we're close to making a deal that will, of course, make him the worldwide star that he deserves to be.
50 million on the line, and they were like practically just jacking me off the whole time.
Going to a party.
So that was real cocaine. I mean, it probably was, or they could have just got some, something that looks like it, but knowing him, I mean, but here's the thing. This is well, he uploaded in 2016. Wasn't he supposed to be sober for 3 years after 2016 after he made that movie? Before he made that movie, remember he said 3 years up there on that interview we watched? Now I could see the weed because I could see saying you're still sober if you smoke weed because I just don't think anything's wrong with smoking weed and it's like medicine. It could be, you know what I'm saying? Now people are realizing it. So even if the weed part's like, okay, you know, he could still say he's sober in my opinion. But the cocaine, no way. If that was really coke, I don't know. He could just be making fun of like it's obviously kind of a pair. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do here, to be honest.
Yo,
Good.
I feel like
really
I
good.
feel like I'm like 100 different people. Right
Do you
now.
feel really? I do too. I'm like 5.
I
at
got
least.
like
I mean,
100 personality disorder.
okay, I'm scared of them.
Dude, I was just about to. You just want to fucking pussy. My mouth is getting a little parched because of how much I'm talking to y'all. But this
Anyway, we really haven't really delved into anything deep, so
No, that wasn't meth. Meth's more crystally. I used to be a meth recovering addict with meth and heroin, and that didn't look like meth to me. But it could be any pills, but you could break up oxys. I mean, you could break up pills that look like white powder too. Or it could have been coke, but I mean, even if it was like a broken up pill, I wouldn't consider yourself sober then from a pill. It just didn't look like meth to me, in my opinion. But meth has like that crystally. I mean, I guess it could have been like a bottom of the bag type thing where it's real powdery, but a lot of the times meth's a little bit more crystally. Anyway, so hey Callie, hey Mel. So that's just interesting because like I said, it was uploaded September 14th, 2016. We saw him do that interview with Matt and his dad, and he said he was 3 years sober. So how soon after that movie came out did he relapse is the question, because this obviously wasn't 3 years prior to 2016 because he would I no, I don't think it's 3 years old because of course he could upload the video and it might not be he just made it. But he might have. So my guess, but that's what this is what I'm saying here. Like he uploaded in 2016 and I don't think it's from 2014. No, no way. I don't think it was 3 years prior than that. So it had to be, I mean, I don't know. So that means he made the movie, it comes out, and then he starts using. I don't know what month the movie came out. I remember they were making it in 2015. I'm pretty sure it came out in actually 2016, right? So that means what? He made the movie and then he just started using right after that? Unless if it's a joke and he just, I mean, who knows? Maybe it is, but I thought, I mean, it probably was real drugs, in my opinion. And another thing, somebody was saying, I was watching, I think it was Entertainment Tonight or USA Today, one of those people that had a small clip of this. They said, and I thought actually it's kind of a good idea. They might be right about it. They said that they think he was kind of making fun of his dad's movie Spinal Tap. I never seen Spinal Tap. But they said that could have been like kind of like, oh, he's kind of mimicking that movie. So I'm not sure if that's what it is because I don't ever seen Spinal Tap, but they had played a little clip from it. And it's like, it's like from what I got just from the little clip, it's like really dumb guys. And it's like, it's one of those comedies where it's like extremely dumb people, like how he was talking. So maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I know. We're gonna talk about that, Jamie. Did you see the title? Do you guys ever read my titles though? Because I notice a lot of times my title, sometimes people will come in and be like, "What's this about?" Or like, "Who's this?" It's in my title. It's fine, but yeah, that's one of the huge updates I want to talk about. It's in the title and on my thumbnail. Yes, I know. Okay, so okay, thank you, Catalina. So 5/16/2016. Okay. He put this out in September. So 4 months after it came out, he's uploading this video to his YouTube. Very odd, man. It makes you think. Makes you think, did after he gets done this movie, he just, I mean, does he start using suit right soon after? Maybe. Okay, so is it great, Mrs. Zavgirl? You would like it funny humor. He's just finished Spinal Tap 2 and it. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check it out. Oh, you saw the movie. How did you like it? Who just said they watched the movie? Where are you? I think they're talking about being Charlie. You watched the did you like it? That's what I was saying, Amber Ann. There's no way this was made 3 years prior because he would have been way too young looking. He wouldn't have looked like this, in my opinion. He would have looked way younger. So yeah, I think this is after. I think he uploaded it shortly after he made it. So I think he probably made this around September 2016, in my opinion. And I don't think they're using fake drugs for some reason. I can't see them doing that. I really can't. Okay, so we'll do that big update about the lawyers because that made me mad. And remember, I've been talking about that. Like, dude, where's he going to get this money? Because freaking Alan Jackson is so expensive, like millions. Like, for a case like this, he's going to be having to work. I mean, sometimes these cases take a couple years to get ready for the trial. And usually, like a lawyer like this in a case like this, that lawyer, Alan, will be working for him. Basically, that'll be his main case. Like, he will be spending 24 hours a day almost on that and barely taking a break. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that Karen Reed was a little bit unique. I mean, they spent every day for 2 trials. But I mean, a case like this, I could see him not taking on. I mean, he probably might take on little cases. I don't know. I almost could see him just working this case, but I'm not sure. I just know he spends a lot of time from what I've seen on cases, and depends on what their defense is, though. Like, I don't, as far as like how much he'd have to spend on it. But let's bring that up, you guys, because I'm already rambling. What do I tell you? I tell you guys, I'm going to make this quick and then I'm over here rambling. Dude, Arches, I've been here. This it looks like Arches. Doesn't it? I think this is Arches National Park in Utah. Doesn't it look like that? Or it might be Garden of the Gods. Well, either way, I've been to both, but I could be wrong. That's pretty. Okay, so let's do this. Spinal Tap at Stonehenge. What's filmed in Utah, Catalina? I was talking about this picture as my background. I think I ended up changing it, which is good. But what do you mean it's filmed in Utah? I don't know what you're talking about. Isn't it beautiful? I loved it. Oh my God. Hey, Flojo. So pretty. The balancing rock. All right, so let me do this here. Okay, so here we go. This just makes me mad. I'm sorry. Okay. Reiner family bombshell as insiders reveal who is paying for Nick's celebrity lawyer, their secret motive, and who will really inherit $200 million fortune. Okay. You know what? Let me see something. That's so weird. When I make him big over here, it's just the screen that's doing it. Wow, I can't do it over here anymore. I was just doing it on my other side, but why is it doing that over here? Watch, let me try this real quick. Oh well. I just want you guys to be able to see it good. I saw it because I was just on my other screen and it worked fine. So I thought it was fixed. That's why I tried it again. I was like, oh, because I restarted my computer. So I was like, maybe that fixed it. When I zoom in, it usually, if it gets bigger, you can like scroll down here, but it's not letting me. Right. You ready to be mad, guys? If you haven't seen this update, be ready to get your punching bag out because this is, I'm sorry, this makes me really mad. Okay. In his immaculately tailored suit and English spread collar shirt, pocket square in his breast pocket, lawyer Alan Jackson stood on the steps of the Los Angeles Superior Court with a furrowed brow, holding forth with the assembled media. Only minutes earlier, his client, 32-year-old Nick, had made his first appearance before a judge to be charged with the murder of his Hollywood celebrity parents, director Rob Reiner. And remember when we couldn't hear what was going on? He was actually, that was him saying yes, because he just okayed it that they put off the arraignment or whatever. But it was so low. We could rewatch it where people, I never did end up editing it louder, but like Law and Crime and stuff redid it. I'm talking about that court, when we watched that court together and it was so low or whatever. And I heard mostly what was going on, but I didn't see him in the court. So I didn't think that was him saying okay or whatever he said, but it was him. So they didn't show him though, but we'll watch that in a little bit. Okay, so only minutes earlier, his client, 32, Nick Reiner, has made his first appearance. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. Jackson, who once prosecuted music producer Phil Spector for murder going into private practice and taken on recent clients such as Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, is one of America's highest paid criminal defense attorneys, easily raking in more than $2,000 an hour, a source told Daily Mail. With Nick Reiner's case guaranteed to take at least 3 months, even if he enters a plea of insanity, Jackson is in line for a significant payday. Wow, they only think it's going to take 3 months? That seems a little not right. Even like, I feel like most murder cases, any murder case usually takes longer than 3 months. Help me out, guys. Doesn't that seem way too short, especially for a case like this? I don't understand where they're coming up with that. Anyway, but asked how he came to represent Nick and who would pay his fees. Look, the loquacious Jackson went quiet. I can't comment, he said. Now, Reiner Family Insider has told the Daily Mail that the cash is indeed coming from Rob and Michelle's estate. The source, a lifelong family friend who was close to Rob's celebrated Hollywood actor, director, screenwriter father, Carl, said that the grieving relatives have hired Jackson and some of the Reiner's estimated $200 million fortune is being used to save Nick from prison. They would rather Nick get locked up for life in a mental institution than be incarcerated, the source said. On Wednesday, Nick appeared in court in a S vest, his wrist shackled as if to illustrate his mental fragility. The hearing had been delayed by a day, with Jackson saying Nick was unavailable to attend due to medical reasons. Here's the thing. A mental institution is not necessarily that much better. Sometimes it's worse. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. You're going to spend millions of dollars to just put him in another institute. You know what I'm saying? He's still going to be, I'm thinking he's still not going to see the light of day. Don't use your freaking parents. Your dad's worked his butt off and he took his life. You're going to use their money. There's no way he's getting out. And you shouldn't want him out. He's dangerous. This makes me freaking mad. On Wednesday, Nick appeared in court. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Why did I just do that again? Okay, so now we have Alan. And here's, how people do sketches. So that's how they seen him in there. Oh, that's what they meant. Sorry, Amber. I was thinking they meant 3 months, like planning it. Yeah, 3-month trial. I see. Sorry, guys. If you guys were what are you talking about? I misunderstood what they were saying. When they said 3 months, I thought they meant like preparing for the trial. I was like, dude, even like small murder cases take longer than 3 months to prepare. Ah, you're right. That's what they meant. They meant like the actual trial. Yeah, but not only is he going to get paid for the trial, he's going to get paid all the work beforehand per hour, and I know you're agreeing with me. So yes, it's going to take a lot of money. Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else in here that we could, and I think all this other stuff is just, I have a couple more articles, but I want to see what else is on here. Yeah, it says wow, he was always deeply troubled, the source said. Then he got into drugs and the problem magnified to horrific levels. He made his parents' lives hell. On the surface, they had everything, but the tragedy of Nick was always lurking in their background, and that worry never went away. They did everything to help that boy. The reality is that he had violent outbursts. Michelle told me about it. The family has been scared of him. he could be violent and super aggressive. So this is that friend that uh is a good friend. What do they say of Carl's, the grandfather and stuff. So that's who they're quoting. I'm pretty sure because that's who they was talking. I mean, that's who this interview was for or from when they're talking about who was paying for the lawyer. So he's saying that the reality is he had violent outbursts. Michelle told me about it, and they've been scared of him. Wow, super aggressive, violent. And Michelle, the mother, says, I don't know what else we can do. The couple are said to have been found in their beds with their throats slit and are believed to have been killed in the early hours of Sunday morning after appearing at the comedian Conan holiday party. Nick reportedly argued with other guests. One looming question is, what now happens to the rest of the Reiner family millions? Under California's Slayer statute, anyone who kills another person is automatically blocked from inheriting from their victim. But that does not stop relatives from chipping in. And Reiner estate is you know what's going to happen is they're also going to always put money on. They're going to use his money for commissary too. You better that's ridiculous. So they're gonna I know there's a max that um he could get every week or month how they do it, people in jail and stuff. But not only is it gonna pay for their attorneys, they're gonna hook them up with commissary. This is making me mad. But I mean, hey, it's their brother, it's their family. It's just what do you guys think? I have a question for you because I don't know what the answer to this is. I mean, none of us know, but I don't even know how I would answer it, in my opinion. So do you think if his dad was still alive, and I know then that wouldn't even be a question, but do you think he would want them to use his money for this? I know that's tough because I mean he's the one that got killed, but like, because if he's dead anyway and then it's his son, would you think that or not? I know that's a weird question, but I'm just curious because I think it still is a good question because I don't think it's obvious. Like, yeah, I mean, you want to say no, but as much as he tried to help him and this guy destroyed their lives and their reputation, basically taking them out to parties, he loved him so freaking much. Um, so I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Marin, okay. Well, pretty insane. You don't see why I mean, that doesn't make you a little upset? You don't see why I would be a little like, why I feel a little bit, wow, the people he killed now is gonna go around and defend him with his money? You really don't understand why that makes me mad? Really? Huh, interesting. But yeah, I don't know how to answer that question as far as what if I think he would. I almost think he would because if he's already dead anyway, he can't come back to life. You know what I'm saying? He can't spend the money anyway, or I almost think that he would. But then I don't know because you have the rest of the kids. But if the rest of the kids are saying, yeah, like if his siblings really are agreeing, and it's not like anybody else pressuring them like, well, we should do this, and they really don't want to do it. But I think if they honestly really want to do this because that's their money that he's using, it should go, that would be money that would go to them for their inheritance, or the family. I guess I don't know how he set up his will, but I mean I'm sure they would get some of it, so it would take from what they would inherit. So I would say, I guess as long as they really are okay and nobody's kind of pressuring them or they feel like they're obligated and they really want to do this, then I guess yeah. And I almost think that the dad would say yes. But I still, for me to like not be upset, I would really want to know that the brother and sister really, really want to do that and they're not being pressured. Um, because I just don't see what the difference is. I mean, I see the difference, but I don't think he's going to get out because I think he is dangerous. Like, as far as if he gets insanity, I mean, I guess sometimes you get rehabilitated and you do end up getting out after so long, if that's what they're hoping for. But then I mean, I'd be a little bit scared if he gets back on drugs. Um, but most likely he wouldn't get out. So do they really Why spend millions of dollars to just, oh, put him in an institution rather than jail? Like it like the sometimes those are worse. But he probably really needs to be in one, so that's one thing. He needs mental help. So, I mean, I guess he does need mental help. So if he goes to jail, there's he just he's gonna get worse, and I mean, but I mean, if he's gonna be in the mental institution forever anyway, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're thinking whether or not he's there for life anyway, they want him mentally to be okay at least, you know? I mean, his sister, they were close. I heard they were best friends at one point, and then I think he turned scary after that, you know, and started threatening her, and he turned where they were scared of him. But they were, I guess, really close at one point growing up, like best friends. Um, yeah, yeah. No, I know he did. She did. Yeah. I'm saying, like, are they having hope that he'd get rehabilitated and then some, you know, some crazy way he would be able to get out? Sometimes it happens. There's been what's her name? There has been a couple times. One murder in particular got it. What was her name? I can't think, but she got rehabilitated and stuff, and she won the insanity. But I'm not saying he would. I'm just saying there's a small possibility. I think he could if he got insanity and he won, but no possibility if not, and he lost. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying it would. I don't think it would, but I think it wouldn't be completely off the table depending on what they agree and how it all goes down. Anyway, 2 years after tying the knot, he and Michelle bought their forever home for 4.7 million from Rob's mentor. Okay, we already read that like yesterday. Says in recent years the property has been available for rent on Zillow. Wow, did they end up renting it out at all? I wonder because like I wonder what he was like for that. Reiner inherited significant funds from his father, who created the Dick Van Dyke Show, but it was only after Reiner made a string of hit movies. So they're saying Rob inherited some from his dad. I didn't know he created Dick Van Dyke Show. Wow. In particular, when Harry met Sally, that he finally, according to the Family Insider, stopped being Carl's son and became his own man. On top of this director credits, Reiner also founded a production company, Castle Rock Entertainment, which most notably produced running 90s sitcom Seinfeld. That's huge. And likely earned him huge sums from syndication and residuals over the years. The Family Insider said Rob worried about his own kids living in his shadow, and he sympathized because he knew what it was like to grow up with a famous parent. To that end, Reiner made it clear that his children could not rest on their laurels. He intended for them to carve their own path and told many friends that much of his money would be given away to charity. Speculation online puts the value of the entire estate. What was that noise? Made a clicky noise. Anyway, put the value of the entire estate at 200 million, although the precise figure is unknown. Rob has always been clear that a lot of his fortune was going to charity. A second family source told Daily Mail he didn't want his kids to feel like they didn't have to work and find their own way in the world. So I wonder how he did set up his will. Huh. Obviously, I haven't seen his will, but I know that a lot of his inheritance is going to causes that Rob and Michelle believed in. This isn't a secret. They've said this for years. There is plenty of money for his kids. They'll all get something substantial as well. But Rob and Michelle do some good work in their legacy. I wish I could tell you that they're donating what they're donated to. I don't know. Wow. And here's the main house. Here's other house. Yeah. Wow, so he lived here? Oh, no, that's Romy's house. Oh, Romy's house. So Romy lives here. The main house. Well, where's the guest house that Nick supposedly lived in? Like right here? Is that a guest house maybe? But it says main house. Wait, the swimming pool is seen right near the bushes. Yeah. Maybe that's oh, that's probably what happened. Remember I said it was actually across the street when I looked up his address? They gave me this house address when I looked at it and I Googled originally. Remember I said that it was the wrong one and I had to get the aerial view and match up the actual address where he lived because they were giving me this address, Romy's. But probably because it's a part of this. That makes sense now. But I mapped it to this house when I did all that figuring. I mapped it right here. But I don't know where the guest house is. Is it like back here? Is it over here maybe? Anyway. That's cool that Romy was right there. I mean, she gets her own little I saw that she lived across the street, but I wasn't sure if like it was a part of her dad's house. Wonder if he paid for it. Well, yeah, probably. There he is right here. Aw. Oh my God, how funny. He hates Trump. Why is this funny to me? Because we know if you guys have been watching this and watching his interviews, you can't miss how bad he hates Trump. I didn't even really know much about him before this. So I mean, I guess that he's been known and we saw how he went to a mental institution, maybe because of when Trump won or whatever. So how funny kind of is this that in this picture Trump there? I don't know why that's funny. I mean, I guess it's not funny, but he would hate that. So I shouldn't laugh about it. But oh, that's cute. They're just lounging, him and his daughter. Oh, Malibu beach house they have. And then oh, Reiner was a known activist and philanthropist, devoting much of his time to initiatives supporting underprivileged children and later campaigning for a host of LGBTQ issues. In 98, he hired political advisor Chad Griffin, a young staffer in the Clinton White House, and threw his weight behind Proposition 10, a plan to put 50% tax on cigarettes and use the money to support education and health care for young children. I bet you Nick hated that because I think he's a smoker. The ballot initiative passed, leading to speculation Reiner may run for governor of California. Instead, he turned his attention to activism, hosting fundraisers for Hillary and setting up an American foundation, equal rights to campaign for marriage equality. Karen, the former mayor of LA, said that Reiner always used his gifts in service of others, while fellow activist Jane Fonda said Rob and Michelle were wonderful, caring, smart, funny, generous people. They were amazing people and wonderful parents who gave themselves to make the world a better place, said Demi Moore. How unspeakably sad that their final gift may be keeping their killer out of prison. Man. Okay, so that's the big update I wanted to give you, but I do have a couple other ones I wanted to this one right here. So that remember the gas station he went in? So supposedly they said Nick looked abnormal on visits to gas station before murders. It says in the days before Rob and Michelle Reiner were found dead, workers at Brentwood gas station say Nick appeared noticeably different from how they had known him over the years. Reiner, 32, was arrested Monday and accused of fatally stabbing both of his parents. Alan's going to be on this person for a witness, because if they're going to go insanity defense, that would be a good witness to have to say like he was different than what he normally is. I mean, if I was a lawyer and I had to defend him, which I would never be, I don't think I'd ever be able to be I don't know. That's tricky because I would love getting people off that I felt were innocent. But like when you're a criminal defense attorney, you have to freaking try to help people that you know are guilty. And that I don't think I could do. But anyway, I would say I would get this person for a witness though. Anyway, okay, so let's see. Despite Reiner's documented history of substance abuse disorder and periods of homelessness, his father had recently said his son was doing well and had been sober for 6 years. Wait. Okay. So the movie came out in 2016. And so that would be 9 years. So, and I think it was out there that he had, well, duh. I mean, I know he relapsed, but like, I think it was like out in public that he was talking about how he relapsed after the movie, right? Not right after, but sometime after. So 6 years? I think he was lying. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I think Nick was lying. However, employees at Brentwood gas station said the Reiner family reportedly say Nick's behavior shifted in the days leading up to the killings. So I read that weird. So they're saying the gas station that the Reiner family reportedly frequented. So it sounds like all the family went to this gas station a lot. Say Nick's behavior shifted in the days leading up to the killings. Several employees said Reiner's demeanor stood out during his recent stops, describing him as drained and abnormal compared to how he normally behaved. One worker recalled seeing him about 2 weeks before the killings and said he looked tired and was unusually standoffish, a departure from his usual interactions. During that visit, Reiner bought a pack of Marlboro Lights, a purchase employee said was consistent with his routine. See, I knew he was a smoker. So, yeah, he probably hated his dad trying to get, did he say he succeeded in that? What they say, issue 10, or was that issue 10? I don't even know what they said 50% tax. Oh my Lord. They emphasized that he didn't. Wait, was that when cigarettes went really? Yeah, I think they did. I remember when I was still smoking and they went up so much. It was ridiculous. That's probably that, right? Oh, anyway, they emphasized that he did not appear impaired or under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Staff members said the change was especially striking given that as recently as a few months earlier, Reiner had been sociable and engaging, often chatting with employees during his visits. According to workers, the Reiner family were regulars at the location, with one employee saying they had known Nick for roughly 15 years. Wow. Yeah, so I mean, they would be good people to talk to. Back in September, Rob sounded optimistic about Nick's health. In resurfaced interview on NPR's Fresh Air, the When Harry Met Sally director said he's been great, claiming that his son hadn't been doing drugs for over 6 years. He's in a really good place, Reiner added. Nick is currently being held without bail on watch in administrative segregation at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in LA. Suspicion quickly turned to him after his parents' bodies were discovered by his sister, Romy, as she told investigators that her brother was dangerous and should be a suspect. See, the thing is I almost think that Rob knew he wasn't, and that was just an act he was saying for the public. Because if he's saying as little as when did they say back in September? And now we're hearing other people say that they were worried. Michelle, the family friend said on that last article, the family friend said Michelle and Rob both were scared of him. He was turned aggressive. They were worried. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the sister said that I guess he threatened her. And so when did that start? You know? There's that Sinclair that we were looking at the other day. Good dinosaur. On Tuesday, police sources revealed that Rob and Michelle had likely been dead for several hours because their bodies were found in their home, or before their bodies were found, because they were in a state of rigor mortis. It said the two may have been asleep in bed together, but they say may have been asleep in the bed together when they were killed. A source close to the investigation told Daily Mail. Nick had joined his parents the night before. Okay, we already know that. All right. Oh, that's he was dressed in casual clothes while the other celebrity guests were dressed in fancier attire. Oh, Casey, 25 months. Thank you. Nick was said to have left some of the guests concerned with his appearance and behavior, and he reportedly got into a clash with Bill Hader that led Rob and Michelle to leave the party. A source alleged that Nick interrupted Hader at O'Brien's party. Yeah, we already read that a bunch of times. Sorry, they repeat a lot of this stuff, but then they'll have like new stuff within it, so you have to read through everything to get. Let's see. Yep, and then the hotel being blood in the shower and a blood trail from the bed. And then in the shower it was blood. The sheets were on the window sills. If those of you, if you haven't heard that yet, so I'll just yeah, he just seemed abnormal in visits to the gas station prior to the killing. Okay, so then we got that's what he says. So when the judge asked that yesterday when he was in court, when the judge asked if the arraignment should be continued, he said, "Yes, Your Honor." Okay, so actually I don't need to bring this article up because that's just saying the same thing. So this is what it says. Nick's siblings, Romy, 27, and her eldest brother, Jake, 34, broke their silence today to describe their agony out what their family has been through over the recent days. Words cannot even begin to describe the unimaginable pain we're experiencing. Every moment of the day, the grieving siblings said in their statement, the horrific and devastating loss of our parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner, is something that no one should ever experience. They weren't just our parents, they were our best friends. We are grateful for the outpouring of condolences, kindness, and support we have received, not only from family and friends, but people from all walks of life. The pair asked people for respect and privacy and urged the public to treat any speculation with compassion and humanity. Jake and Romy said they wanted their father, a legend in Hollywood, an acclaimed photographer, mother, to be remembered for their incredible lives that they lived and love they gave. 36 years they were married. Source close to investigation said that their throats slashed and were killed in their bed. So a source, I guess, or there is a source close to the investigation said that their throats slashed, killed in the bed. They were found after the daughter, Romy, was called over by a massage therapist because they had an appointment. She couldn't get in. Who arrived at the residence for a 2 p.m. appointment. The masseuse was unable to get inside and called Romy, who lives across the street, with a roommate for help. There's a drawing of him from court. Here's a picture of them all. Romy opened the door and discovered the gruesome scene of her father's lifeless body before fleeing from the home. She was so distressed that she did not notice her mother's slain body was also in the house. Her roommate called while Romy reached out to her father's longtime friend, Billy Crystal. Romy only learned that her mother, Michelle Singer Reiner, was also dead when paramedics arrived and broke the grim news. Okay. Now let's put this one here. Okay, so this is Rob Reiner's son, Nick. Nick's dark, never before seen Instagram page revealed, and it's private now. So I'm guessing that maybe because of this, he made it private real quick. Not him, but maybe the family or something. Because how did they get this if it's private, right? His Instagram. So I don't know, because I went and looked and it's private. So like I said, I'm not sure but we'll look through. They have a couple pictures they shared. But my point is, I'm not sure if they like saw this article and the family made it private, or somehow they had like a source where they're friends with him and they got it. I'm not sure, but let me double check again to make sure. Yeah, I mean, it is. So, all right, I'll show you the pictures they shared. I requested, but I don't think they'll friend me because I'm sure that I'm guessing the family probably made it private. Anyway, so it says Nick Reiner's private Instagram profile has been revealed. Oh, it does say private. As he faces 2 counts of first degree. Page 6 has obtained exclusive screenshots from his feed, including 2 never before seen pics. But how did they get them if it's private? And it's weird because think about this. If they actually if they were they were friends or they were in his private account, they would have more than 2 screenshots, right? So it makes me think maybe, yeah, somebody sold him or something like, hey, I'm friends with Nick and I'll sell you like 2 screenshots. I don't know. I'm confused. The most recent post dated November 28th, 2017 shows Nick 32 jokingly being choked by an unidentified male with the caption Cuban choke slam. The location was tagged at Havana, Cuba. Hold on, let me just finish reading this and then we'll look at it. In another snap dated April 28th, 2017, Nick gives the camera a strange smile while posing on a bench in a black jacket, jeans, and a cowboy hat. And it says Nick's brother, Jake, sister are still following him on the social media app. Here's the other picture. Sorry, this explains it right here. I didn't read all this. I just saved the. Wow, that was weird. How long has that been out, guys? I looked over and the page was blank. Were you able to see the pictures or no? Because most of the time I'm looking at my other screen where I can't see what like the screen I have up. Did you guys see these or no? Because when I looked, it was gone. Like I was sharing it, but it like for some reason the screen was only my background. Did that happen to you guys too? So here's the first one or the second one, and then here's the first one they were talking about, just in case if you guys didn't see it. Okay, so now we know how he got it. Sorry, sometimes I don't finish reading all of the articles if the main thing is I wanted to show you the pictures, but sometimes if I just read it all, it gives you the answer. One of Nick's former coworkers provided the screen grabs of the Instagram profile page to page 6 and also spoke to us about their time working together on the set of Family Guy in 2014. But I did read this part. That's crazy. I have read the thing about the Family Guy. You know what happened? Look, this stupid thing that comes down, it probably blocked it and I probably missed that. I probably just missed that right here somehow. It got blocked, I'm guessing, because I did read this next part. Anyway, sorry. He was an intern on the show Family Guy for around 3 to 6 months. His father helped him get the gig, the insider shared, noting that Rob would drop him off and pick him up every day. He was coming off rehab, so he was sober. Wait, so 2014 though. Okay, so yeah. This was part of his path to recovery. His whole identity was being sober. The source told us that Nick would work for hours a day, but would spend most of his time shooting the shit with his fellow employees. He did not work hard, and he wasn't a hard worker, the insider alleged. He was 100% entitled. Wow, I figured. There was really no responsibility for him because we didn't have interns. It was a favor for Rob. Wow. Ugh. Hey, Ashley, what's up? What's up? Who's the guilty? What's up? Hey, Kalohi. The source described Nick as captivated and goofy during his younger years, a contrast to his state of mind leading up to when his parents were murdered. So captivating and goofy. Okay. I mean, I guess from that video we watched earlier, I guess that fits you guys didn't see the very beginning, I played this video he uploaded to YouTube. It's 6 minutes long. It's just like almost like a homemade movie type thing that he made with his sister and I don't even know, friends maybe. I don't know who everybody is in it. His darkness was his humor. He has a dark sense of humor, the source explained. He was a funny kid. He was charismatic in a dark, introverted way. He was a goofy 20-year-old. The insider told Page Six that Nick would often say effed up things, dark things with a tinge of humor. He was the black sheep. He felt like a F up. He knew that, the source continued. He was self aware of how his family was doing and how he represented them in a negative space. Wow. But none of that felt offensive or scary. That's messed up. That makes me mad. Read that again. Black sheep. He felt like a F up. He knew that, the source continued. He was self aware of how his family was doing and how he represented them in a negative space, but none of that felt offensive or scary. Why do I go back and forth with him? Like yesterday, if you guys remember that last live I did, I was starting to feel bad for him when I was watching that interview. But then sometimes, like in this moment, I like want to grab him and be like, you self-entitled rude jerk or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I go back and forth. Sometimes it just makes me mad and I think, what a spoiled little brat. And then, like I said, that interview last night, I felt so bad for him. Despite liking Nick, the source explained how he wasn't surprised when he heard that he had been arrested on charges of murder. I'm not that shocked. He's a troubled person, our insider admitted. Nick had an era of darkness around him with his addiction issues. When you have an addiction and mental health, there's room for emotional murders. It doesn't seem unfounded, they added. He was a troubled kid from a young age and had issues, but that's not the Nick I knew. The insider also remembers Rob as loving and caring father who tried his best to help Nick get on his feet over the years. What is every time I see this picture, I'm like, what does he have all over his shirt? It's like wet. Is that sweat? It is sweat. Look, he's sweating on his neck and stuff. It's probably hot. He probably sweat through hugging people and stuff. Or I guess he doesn't not need to be hugging people, but why do I feel like he's the one that to hug everybody? You know, he really cared about him. When Nick wanted to get into his screenwriting, he had him write a script for Being Charlie. They shared. They were all very close. They were a close family. On Nick's Facebook page, he has a photo from his time working on Family Guy. He could be sitting under a desk as he captioned the snap, having fun at work. Yep, that's that picture. I was wondering. I bet you that's when I read this article about him working as an intern. I was like, I bet you that's that picture of him sitting under the desk. When they said he didn't really have any responsibility, he didn't work hard. It's like that picture encapsulates it perfectly. Then this is him at work, not doing anything. Freaking curled up under a desk. Do you guys remember that picture that we went over yesterday? Okay, so that's that. I don't understand though. Why couldn't they show him on camera? Wait. Yeah, this is not the first time he's been violent. Yep. It says Nick also has an alleged history of violence. As a neighbor of Reiner told the Post, this is not the first time their son has been violent. I just never thought it would get to this point. Okay. So that's that. Now let's do.
You don't seem very fiery to me.
Hold on. Let me just. We'll watch this really quick. A quick part about that. I know we watched it yesterday, but remember it was so low, so you could hear him talk.
In court for the first time, facing.
Wait, let me play the court. Hold on. Were they playing it there? It sounded like they weren't even
Out of sight, but like Michelle Holiday would have gas. I want to talk about it's America's.
Oh, I want to find it. Just
largest per neighborhood Sunday after.
do they have it on this one? I might have to just find another one here. Oh, here it is.
And there were a ton of cameras outside the courthouse. This is what he said after the hearing.
Good morning, ladies.
What about during the hearing?
That's only words that Nick said in court were, quote, "Yes, Your Honor." And that's when he confirmed that he was waiving his right to a speedy trial. This is all for
The back door.
and his attorney. I mean, it's
All
somewhat.
right,
I mean,
they're not
definitely
going to play it.
people
I'm
watch Law
going
and
to
Crime
look it
Mountain
up.
because of the
Like, why
Karen
aren't you
Reed
playing
case.
it?
And then also Fraser Baum, who's a young man who allegedly killed 4 people with a car in at Pepperdine. 4 young women. Alan Jackson defending him as well. But specifically with Karen Reed, he did such a good job of like creating
hold
this
on a
almost
second.
alternative universe of what actually happened to John O'Keefe. In this case, there's not a car, but he's very good at what he does. What does he bring to the table when someone gets Alan Jackson?
Hold on, I'm not.
25 CJC F08098.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson, along with Caleb Mason and Elizabeth Little, Portsmouth Jackson, went on behalf of Mr. Reiner, who's currently present in court in custody.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Habib Bailey for the people.
Jonathan, for the people, Your Honor.
Thank you. And counsel, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, if we could, I would like to ask for a continuance of the arraignment. I don't want to get it complete at this juncture. It's too early. We've coordinated with counsel from the DA's office, and January 7th, with the court's permission, will be a convenient date for us to come back for potential arraignment.
Thank you. At this time, I'll take a waiver, speedy arraignment waiver from your client.
Thank you.
Mr. Reiner, do you have a constitutional and statutory right to a speedy arraignment? Your counsel is requesting that your arraignment be continued to January 7, 2026. Do you waive your right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment can be heard on January 7, 2026? And does counsel join in the waiver?
I join, Your
The
Honor.
court finds that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his right to a speedy arraignment, and that his counsel joins in that waiver. Matter set January 7, 2026 for arraignment in this department. Bail to stand at no bail.
I don't get it though. Was he was there, right? It wasn't because originally when I was watching this before, I was thinking virtually, maybe through computer, but their picture like he was there, right? In the courtroom. But what confuses me is she's looking over. So he has to be that way, right? If she's looking over that way. But where though? He's not that sure. Like, where the heck is he? Look, watch. Like, where is he? Like, is he like sitting here like way low? Like, I don't understand where he could be. Is he ducking down? Because she looks over here. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So, and he's not, I don't think it's virtual because the drawer drew him. So he's in the courtroom. But if he's out this way, that, you know, I could see why we don't see him, but she looks right over here. I just don't get why we can't see him then. Watch.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson, along with Caleb Mason and Elizabeth Little, Portsmouth Jackson.
You could see him, Chloe? I can't see him.
In custody.
Thank you.
Oh,
Good morning, Your Honor. Habib Bailey
oh,
for the people.
oh, I get it.
For the people, Your Honor.
Thank you.
See? Like she'll look over here like he's over here. And I know I know I get that she should not to show me, Amber. I'm not saying that. But my point is where is he though? I get they said don't show him, okay? But you're not following me here? But she's talking to him and she's looking over here. And the camera is showing us over there right now. So where could he be over there? I doubt he's over to the right. You know what I'm saying? And she's looking the opposite way to get his okay. He has to be over here somewhere. And the camera, I get that they said don't show him, right? I totally get that. So they're not showing him. My question is, Leo, is where is he though over here? Like, is he ducked under here? Because I mean, why would she be turned this way to speak to him if he's like, I guess he's back here. He's back here, but you would think we would still see his head popping up. And so did they tell him to duck for a minute when the camera passes? No, they're not. What the heck?
Counsel, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, if we could,
I guess he's behind here somewhere, but you just think maybe he's like right behind here. But that's the thing though. If if the camera wasn't supposed to show him and he's over here, I don't think they would take the chance of like spanning it and like really thinking that they would, I don't know, block him. I'm not sure.
I'd like to ask for a continuance of the arraignment. I want to get it completed at this juncture. It's too early. We've coordinated.
Unless if he's right, the only thing I was thinking also is they're keeping him out here, and then when they bring him in right when they ask him the question, maybe I don't know, but then that would be stupid.
With counsel from the DA's office and January 7th.
I don't know, Callie. Makes no sense.
For us to come back for potential arraignment.
Thank you. At this time, I'll take a waiver, speedy arraignment waiver from your client.
Thank you.
Mr. Reiner, you have a constitutional and statutory right.
Yeah, he's back. They both look back there. Check that out. When he goes, Mr. Reiner, look at the lawyers' heads. Watch. They both look because they're looking at him because they're about. She's asking Mr. Reiner. So Alan and them, they all turn their heads. So he's back there. Watch.
Mr. Reiner, you have a constitutional and statutory.
So oh, there he is. I can see a part of his head. He's right there. He's sitting right there. They just had these guys cover him. Unless if it was just this bad videography and they didn't say he wasn't allowed to be there, but they got the angle where they covered him. Because I don't know why he wouldn't be allowed to be on camera. That makes no sense to me, but I guess it probably is what it is. But you could see a little bit of his face. You guys see that, right? Look, that's 100% right there. You can see a little bit of him. They're covering him. That's why they're standing in front of him. That's why we can't see him.
Right to a speedy arraignment. Your counsel is requesting that your arraignment be continued to January 7, 2026. Do you waive your right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment can be heard on January 7, 2026? And does counsel join in the waiver?
I join, Your
The
Honor.
court finds that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his right to a speedy arraignment, and that his counsel joins in that waiver.
I'm going to try to pause it and see if he
January
moves at all.
2026 for
We got to catch it. Wait, hold on. And see if we could catch anything else. He's right behind her. Dang it.
Bail to stand at no bail.
Now that we know where he's at, I just wanted to look, see if he moves his head at all where we could see him again.
25 CJC F08098.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson, along with Caleb Mason and Elizabeth Little. Commissioner Jackson, point on behalf of Mr. Reiner, who's currently present in court in custody.
Thank you.
Yeah, he clearly says he's present in court. Oh my God, that's silly. That I have silly moments, you guys. Just, I'll warn ya.
Oh, Your Honor, Habib Bailey.
I'm not dumb. I just have silly moments sometimes.
Thank you. And counsel, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, if we could, I would like to ask for a continuance of the arraignment. I want to get it completed at this juncture. It's too early. We've coordinated with counsel from the DA's office, and January 7th, with the court's permission, would be a convenient date for us to come back for potential arraignment.
Thank you. At this time, I'll take a waiver, speedy arraignment waiver from your client. Mr. Reiner, you have a constitutional and
You could see his hair, his eyebrow, and his forehead right there. But this is about the most we're going to see him.
statutory right to a.
Oh, wait, there was a part right there. I should put this in my editor. I'm weird. I know you guys are probably like, who cares? But there's a part right. Hold on. Oh, I guess it's no better. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, that's that.
Requesting that your arraignment be continued to January 7, 2026. Do you waive your right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment can be heard on January 7?
Is anybody else like that?
And does counsel join in the waiver?
I join, Your
The
Honor.
court finds that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his right to a speedy arraignment, and that his counsel joins in that waiver. Letter set January 7, 2026 for arraignment in this department. Bail to stand at no bail. Anything further on the case?
Not by the defense, Your Honor.
Anything further?
Well, he said January 7th, right? Now I missed the date.
And does counsel join in the waiver that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his right to a speedy arraignment, and that his counsel joins in that waiver. Letter set January 7, 2020.
January 7th. And as far as why would they can't show him, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I hope they end up showing it during his arraignment. I don't get it. Why does he have to be protected? I mean, there's no reason that he should be. Okay, so I want to watch a part of this because there are a lot of people taking clips, not a lot of people, but I've seen people mention this, and I actually watched it earlier. And where did I just put it? But they're taking it because he says, I mean, it's a joke, obviously. But some people are like quoting it like, well, you'll see. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I take it just as a joke, but I mean,
You don't seem very fiery to me. You
I
seem
get
like you
crazy.
might just.
I get crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You don't want to set me off.
Yeah. Were you ever worried that
or
Nick could,
actually,
shine poorly on your career or something like that?
No, that never crossed my mind. I mean, you know, he's my son. I love him. It doesn't matter. That he's more important than anything that could happen to me.
Rob Reiner's son, Nick, issued an eerie warning years before his parents' brutal murders. The 32-year-old told Access Hollywood in 2016 that he gets crazy, adding, "You don't want to set me off."
sorry, now that I think about it, it's probably one of those jokes where it was like a true joke. Like he meant it as a joke, but it was true too. But I love that his dad said that because I do feel like that he means that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's not one of those people that says stuff and it's a bunch of crap for the public. Like, I feel like he meant that and he actually would hold true to that. Like he doesn't care. Like he does not that worried about it. Does that make sense? Like he loved his family a lot. Like I mean, everything I've watched, he seems like a really good guy. Oh, Rob, yes, wait, I'm not talking about Nick. Gosh, I need to be more clear. Yes, I'm saying Rob. I'm saying what Rob said about him not being nervous that he's going to if his son messes up anything for him or overpower. What did she say? Overpower? I forget what word she used, but he's like, no. He said basically, he's more important than anything. Like he's my family, he's my son, so that's actually more important than like any of that other stuff. And I believe that that's true. Like he actually means it. I do believe that. And I hope we don't find out anything. I don't know. I'm just nervous. There's going to be things we're going to find out, but I hope not. I just hope we don't find out that it's like another Menendez thing. Because if so, he has me fooled. Because he seems like a really good guy. But wait, what's everyone these days, Chloe? Wait, what are you saying? It's not what? You're saying he's not a good guy? I don't understand what you're saying. Huh. Well, you could disagree. I mean, I was just saying it seems like he is. Oh, he's not. He's like that. I don't know. My mom was saying she read an article that one of his best friends is different, the opposite politically, and they'll debate and argue and have their debates, but they're still like they were still friends. Like he still would be friends with you. They're still really good friends. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Well, we'll see. I hope not. I don't think so. I know, like, you have to kind of consider it and think about it and say, but I don't think. If I were to guess, I don't think that that's what's going on. The Menendez situation, I don't think so. I really don't. But I'm just saying, I'm hoping it's not. But I don't see that. But I guess we'll see. Okay, so let's move on, guys. I'm losing people here. Franken jokes aren't true, but wait, what jokes, Ambria? I also have always gotten a genuine sense from him. Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't even know who Al Franken is and what jokes. Or does that say no, Al? Huh. Oh, really? What? Are you serious? Ah. Usually like that stuff usually has some kind of truth to it too. Dang, I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. Because I'm sure it'll come out. Alan will pull out all the stops. Even here's the thing with Alan, I feel like even if Rob wasn't like that to Nick, and there's some rumor that he was, and he could use that somehow for his defense, to use that like, oh, he hated his dad because, you know, he was like this and he knew his dad or whatever. Even if it wasn't to him, I feel like Alan would still possibly use that if he's allowed. Now, court might not allow it depending on how he wants to use it in the case. But if there's something to find and he could use that to help his freaking client, I feel like he would. So I feel like it'll come out if there is something like that, in my opinion. But I guess maybe not, though, because the judge could say no, it's not relevant, like you can't use it. But I don't know, I guess we'll see. Oh, Bobby, well, you're here now, that's all that matters. um Wait, Central. Okay, hold on. Let me do the other thing. And then I don't know. Can you send it to me? I don't know where to find it. I mean, I guess I could type it in, but I just want to, can you send it to me while I'm playing, reading this other thing? You said it's Comedy Central Franken Roast of Rob. I wonder if Comedy Central would copyright me though. Well, send it to me and I'll see if I feel like I could use it. All right, let's just read this, and then I do want to play a quick other little video, and then yeah, you're right. And in the time period, 80s, 90s, I mean, he's been around for a while. We know it was rampant. It's only now, since it's getting exposed, it might, and you know what I'm saying? Now people might be afraid. It might not, it might start slowing down, but like in the 80s, 90s, you know, we're hearing about all of that's being exposed. And that's when he was working. I mean, well, that's why I guess it wouldn't be. I mean, it's not a bad question, and it's not wrong to ponder it. You know what I'm saying? So I hopefully people aren't mad, like Rob fans aren't like, I can't believe you even like think about it. Well, no, I'm not saying I believe it, but it wouldn't be that off to ponder if that could be true, you know? In 2000s, yeah. 80s, 90s, 2000s. What was 2000 in the Comedy Central? No, he's been in the industry before the 2000s. What are you talking about? I'm talking about just in the industry. Okay, so this one's called Nick Reiner hired Alan Jackson as one of America's top defense lawyers. Here's how much he could be charging. I thought this could be interesting. Nick was hired celebrity defense attorney Alan as he faces charges. Okay. Legal experts think the legal eagle could potentially charge over $1 million for the case. I think that's cheap. If he charges 1 million, I feel like that would be giving him a break for what, like, I feel like he normally would have charged for a case like this. I don't know. Let's see. Jackson was revealed as Reiner's attorney just days after his famous father, who directed iconic films as Princess Bride. Okay. It says could be the shocking murder case stunned Hollywood and the world and could be the biggest yet for Jackson, even after he made his name successfully defending true crime main character Karen Reed twice. He has also repped Hollywood A-listers like Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein. Here's the thing, though. Him representing Kevin and Harvey gave him like bad publicity, but I guess good if you're a criminal and you're a bad person that commits something like this and needs a lawyer. So in that, I mean, I guess that's his business. So he wouldn't need that. But with the Karen Reed case, people fell in love with him. People started loving this guy. Even I did, because I wanted the outcome that we got from him. And he was a big factor in it. So like I became a fan. I don't know if you say a fan, but it's like, man, this guy is a heck of a good attorney. We got to see him in action. But the fact that when, hearing that he like representing Kevin Spacey, I'm always like, oh, I don't like that. Why do you have to do that? But like, that's his job, so I can't be mad at him. He's became a household name when he was hired to defend Karen Reed, who was charged with murdering her cop boyfriend, John O'Keefe. says the explosive story commanded headlines for years with Jackson front and center. Even making some headlines of his own after he filmed in a close embrace with Reed during a night out in Boston. I thought that was AI though. Wasn't that confirmed that was just AI? This is New York Post, so yeah, they might have been the one that did it. I don't know. What does it say? Nick may have been abused on the street, and his warped mind blamed his dad, and Nick chooses the streets over rehab. Yeah, no, it could be. We're not assuming. We're just talking. We're trying. Nobody's assuming anything. It's not. We're in true crime. You have to keep things open. You have to be able to see both sides and consider things. Like I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying it's something that we're allowed to talk about and say, I hope it's not going to come to that. I even said I don't think it is. Did you hear me? I'm not. I hate when people think like, "Oh, you're victim blaming," when that's not victim blaming. I said, "No, I don't think so." I said, "I hope to God that it doesn't come out that it is." And it is a thing that's in the back of my head that I'm hoping it's not because of, the Menendez and how we know the industry is and how messed up freaking Nick is. And it might not be anything. It might just be his own issues, or he might have been, abused in another situation. Heck yeah. I'm not saying that that's not possibility, but I'm always trying to keep my mind open, and I can't close it off like that. So I'm sorry. I can't just have that confirmation bias and that everything will be like, well, if that comes out, then that means it's because of this, because there's no way, no matter what the evidence produces, that I will let my mind think that about him. So I will just think that Nick created that in my mind, that it was him and it's not him. That's confirmation. No, I can't. No, I'm going to keep my mind open. And no, I don't think it's going to hold to be true, but I'm not going to close it off to that possibility. That's all. Do I think that that's what's going to be the outcome? No, I even just said that like 10 minutes ago. No, I don't think so. I hope not either. Anyway. Okay, so where am I at? Thank you. Okay, so where are we at? He also was caught. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Okay. Before that, he defended Hollywood producer Harvey for LAR charges. Jackson suffered a rare loss in that case against his success rate, which is an impressive 96%, according to Fox News. Years earlier, he defended A-list actor Kevin Spacey against SA charges until they were dismissed in 2019. Jackson first commanded center stage as a prosecutor with the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office. However, when he led that case against iconic Wall of Sound producer Phil Spector for the murder of actress Lana Clarkson, Jackson delivered an impassioned prosecution and managed to send the high-profile producer to prison for life. It remains unclear how much Jackson might be charging Reiner. Oh, they spelled it wrong. But legal experts have speculated his full cost in a murder trial of this scale could reach into millions. Allen was the best prosecutor for years in that LA office, and now he is the go-to defense attorney. You want the best? It doesn't come cheap, said Court TV anchor Vinnie Politan. After the Karen retrial, Allen catapulted to the top of the high-profile defense attorney list. He added, if this becomes a death penalty double murder trial, this could easily be a 7-figure fee to handle this case. Yep. So that means in the tens of millions, right? Well, I guess it would be a million. Never mind. I think it'll be more than a million, but we'll see. Others agree the estimates ranged from over $1 million to $500,000 on the low end. What's is also unclear is how 32-year-old Nepo baby plans to pay for the pricey defense and whether Jackson will cut him a bargain rate for the publicity of the case will bring. He may because he's going to get publicity. I don't know. It says Jackson previously he told Vanity Fair that he didn't charge Reed full freight for her 2 murder trials, despite Reed's case being worth about $10 million if she paid the full price. The magazine reported that Reed paid $1.2 million from her savings, an illegal defense fund that was raised for her. He is probably quoting a significant fee somewhere in a $500,000 range, or he's quoting lower, knowing it's good publicity. It is difficult to say. Lindsay Richards, a criminal defense attorney of Austin, said, I'm also not sure where Nick, oh, this is before we know now. So this is probably an older article. He's very passionate about his work. My guess is he'll be looking to suppress any statements or evidence. If that fails, then he will most likely mitigate the matter with issues of substance abuse or mental deficiency. Yeah, I've heard that was AI, but I don't know. So, okay, so is AJ qualified? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Heck yeah, he is. He's one of the best there. Yeah. Hold on one second. I wanted to play one more thing here. Sorry. I was looking at something. I was just double checking something. Oh, here, I'll just play it off of this. I had it in my editor, but it just came up. I just wanted to share this because remember we were I was wondering when I was watching this with you guys, I was wondering if did he see the lights or why did he like turn back around? Well, this answers my question. Watch. And I think I was right that he saw the lights. You'll see the ambulances come down. Watch. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. Okay, so this is like the full, this was the camera they used and they zoomed in, but this is the full pulled back one here. Okay, so watch. Wait, where did he? He's right there. Right? What's he doing? Pretty sure that's him. I had fast forwarded because I wanted to show you. When I watched this earlier, I fast forwarded because I wanted to see when they came. Okay, you see the ambulances? Look, coming down. There's a cop, but they pull all the way down. So I'm not sure what they are for. And there he is right there. So now he's probably saw those thinking they're coming for me. And then there they come. Hands up. So that other ambulance is going the other way wasn't even the same one. But I think he heard that coming. Look, these people are like, what's going on? If you guys only knew. Huge murder case right here. They probably have no idea. I mean, they obviously don't have any idea like what is going on over there. Wow. But I want to rewind that. Watch. So they go around. He's just right there. He's just standing there. Let me rewind. Hold on. So he's just like chilling right there. Wonder if he's looking for drugs, looking for somebody that he thinks, that, who looked like that he could get some drugs off of. I don't know. He's just standing there. Is he waiting to cross? Maybe he's waiting to cross. No, because then he starts walking over here a little bit. He probably has nowhere to go. Oh, he has that hotel room though, but I mean, no, this is the next day. Never mind. So I mean, all day he's just out on the streets? Because I mean, this was all day, that whole day after, all day, and then it's not until late, evening. What did they say, 9 o'clock or something? So what did he do for that whole day? And then here they come, and that's not even for him. So his heart probably started pounding right there. Like, what? Now watch, here they come. Look, unmarked cars and everything. They're all unmarked. Dude, isn't it every one of them? Not unmarked, but they don't have yeah, wouldn't they be called unmarked? I don't know. It's hard to tell. There might be some regular ones, but there's definitely some that aren't. Wow. But Kalohi, it's not about a defense that doesn't work. It's about if it's true, then he would use that. But if it's not true, of course he's not gonna, he's not gonna be able to prove something that's not true. But if it's true and he can make a case out of it, I'm sure he would. It's not about it being a good defense. It's not about, it didn't work for that. It's about if that's really true, he's gonna use, of course he's gonna somehow interpret that in. But if it's not true, then no. I hope it's not true. But yeah, so I'm glad we got the pulled out version. I was so curious about that. Dude, they come like how many they got? One, two, three. Wonder how they knew he was there. Like where he was. Like he could be walking anywhere. Huh. Somebody called it in, but I mean, nobody would even I'm curious. I hope it's actually in the reports. You know how they'll tell you they should be, like how they knew they got a call from whatever. And did they say they didn't say in the press conference, did they, how they knew it was him? Or they knew where he was at? Because they knew. They all came in all at the same time, like bam. Unless if a cop was just driving, they seen him walking, and then they call in and they go, "We see him," and one cop followed him, and then they all like waited till everybody was ready, and the one cop was following him. You think that's how it happened? And it's making sure where he went. So then when they were all ready, they're like, "Okay," and they all just went. Psht. Oh yeah, I guess. Did he have a phone? I'm trying to remember. Did we hear something about a phone? Yeah. Heck yeah, they can. Well, here's the thing with that. They would have to get a search warrant for his phone from the company. I don't know if that would happen that quick. So maybe not. That might not have happened that quick for them to do that, because usually search warrant, usually that would take like at least I'm sure a couple days. I don't know. I could be wrong, but yeah, they could, but they would need a warrant. And if it could happen that fast, but I've never seen them happen that fast from cases. But like I said, I'm not an expert or anything, just from like covering cases. But are they really still looking for the knife? I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, let me see if there's anything else going on. Hold on. Oh my god, I've already been on an hour and a half. I was gonna try to be on for like a half hour. I do, because I want to do. Well, I'm looking to see if there's anything else interesting. That's page 6. Well, look at this picture of him and Conan. Wow. Rob. Huh. Wow. Oh, sorry. Once again, I thought I had my screen shared. Look at that. Conan and Rob. Oh, what the heck? Why is that coming up? Let me see if there's any. Did we already read this? Oh, yeah. That was from 20 December 16th. Yeah. I I had so much. Bail revoked. That was weird. Oh. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if there's anything else. Anything else that you guys think is interesting I could update? If not, I'm gonna call it a night. Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, look at this. Right here it says, sadly, the Reiners were stabbed repeatedly. Here, let me make this bigger. And it wasn't just one stab to the neck. A little below, about Nick Reiner below. Rob Shooter from the Naughty But Nice podcast said he met with Nick around 4 or 5 years ago and said he was working on a project as a struggling screenwriter. Rob says he was rude to the staff in the sandwich shop. He was also impatient, arrogant, and rolled his eyes at the staff. They had apparently got his order wrong, and Rob described him as being toxic. He added everybody in Hollywood knew it. Nobody said anything bad about him because his parents were oh so very loved. He was like an elephant in the room. Wow. Um, anyway. No, I don't think that was true. Everything else is saying no. Just that Billy Bush, though. I don't know why he said that, but every other report is saying no. Most reports now are saying she didn't even find her mom. She found her dad and ran out, and had her roommate call 911. She was so upset, and she didn't even see her mom. The paramedics had to tell her. So no, I don't think so. I really don't. I hope he could. Does anybody know, anybody that watches him, did he come back ever and correct that? Like, and say, hey, sorry, my source was wrong or anything? Because I really don't think that's true. But I don't know. That Billy Bush said that. That's all I know. And you guys notice he switched bags, right? So after the murder, he had the red bag, as we see. Before, he had the black bag. But I wonder if it got blood on it. If he put clothes, I don't know what he did, to be honest. Wonder what he did with the knife. Oh, look. He goes back in. I haven't seen the whole one. Did he not just walk out and then walk back in? He's so paranoid, probably not wondering the cop's gonna get me. Also, he's probably looking for somebody to buy drugs from. When you're on the streets and you're a drug addict, sometimes you look for certain type of people, and you know what people potentially you could ask, you know? I don't know. I could be wrong. It might not be what he's doing, but it might be. Maybe he's out and he needs it. Or maybe he's just paranoid and he doesn't know what to do with himself. And you know, if maybe he even saw a cop out there and it scared him. Who freaking knows? That's kind of crazy though. Quickly leaves the store before re-entering. Yeah, look, he walks. Wonder if what is what? Huh. I bet he thought that was a cop. Because he's kind of dressed like a cop. Because he was looking at him. He turned around like, ooh. Wow. Huh, that's interesting. The court of the gullible. I don't know what you're talking about, Chloe. I don't feel like we're not gullible if we believe Menendez. A lot of people do. I don't find myself gullible. I watched the whole trial. Anyway, starting to get a little upset for some reason. Nick does okay, we already watched that. All right, guys. I don't think there's really anything else. Wait, what did somebody said? And I said I was going to look for an update because somebody said something that made me think. Now I can't remember. That made me think there was something of an update. Hold on. Let me go look back through comments. That's why I was looking. Oh, the knife. I wanted to see. Where did you see that they didn't find the knife? I haven't heard anything about that yet. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Police search Nick's hotel room for murder weapon. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I want to look at TMZ or. Yeah, for murder weapon. They showed up at the hotel where Nick was staying looking for a weapon, blood, and other evidence. Okay, yeah. So that means they probably haven't got one, or did they find one at TMZ? Let's see. A law enforcement source, along with 2 other, showed up at Pierside at 1 a.m., telling the front desk clerk he was there to do a welfare check on Nick, who was staying in room 207. We're told the detective said he was concerned Nick may have disposed of a weapon connected to a violent crime. The detective also said he believed Nick may have cleaned up and disposed of evidence. We're told hotel staff took the detective up to room 207 where he searched the room. Broke tea at Story. Housekeeper cleaned up Nick's room Sunday. Yeah, we already went over this. We actually watched that video yesterday. She discovered blood in the shower as well on the sheets. Checked in at 4:15 a.m. Sunday. Wait. Oh, it says hotel staffer believe he was tweaked out. We're now told that staffer believe he was high on some sort of stimulant. Other sources say at the time Nick checked in, he bought 4 Heineken beers and a bottle of water that were inside the hotel lobby. We're told the beers were non-alcoholic, but it's unclear if Nick knew that. Yeah. When they were talking about that on that video about the non-alcoholic beer, was I watching it with you guys? That's exactly what I thought. He probably thought they were alcohol. There's no way you're going to buy 4 non-alcoholic beers just, for what's the point? So he probably thought they were alcohol and he bought them as thinking they were beer. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on what that is. Because to buy 4 non-alcoholic beers, no, he thought he was getting alcohol beers, in my opinion. Second floor is sealed off. Oh, that's what I was supposed to look up, the comedy channel. All right, guys. I don't know. Wait a minute. That's a good question. Wait, did they clean it up? Because they said the cleaning room found it, and they obviously didn't call the cops. So wouldn't the cleaning lady clean? Did they just leave the hotel dirty, or did they clean it up? Is all the evidence gone? Why wasn't I thinking that? I was thinking they had all that blood there, but either they thought something was suspicious, so they called because the blood, which we know they didn't call, so then they would have cleaned it up, right? Wow. Any thoughts on that, what I just said? But I mean, that would have been the morning before that they came. So they would have cleaned it, right? Convenience store. Why? Why would they have saw blood there, Kelly? What convenience store? He obviously, I mean, in that gas station video, he obviously changed and probably took a shower. That's probably why the blood was in the shower. He didn't have blood on him. I don't, but maybe I'm not understanding what you mean. Which convenience store are you talking about? Yeah, I wonder. They didn't. I don't know, guys. That's a question. I can't believe I didn't think about that. I didn't even that didn't even cross my mind. In my head, I just thought they had all that for evidence. I want to know, how are we going to figure that out? Let's see. Did they? We got to ask TMZ. Well, if you guys run across any information on that, can you send it to me? Please. Yeah, it doesn't say yet. I'm looking at that specific question. Huh. Shoot. I hope they didn't. But then if they didn't, then and they thought something, then they would have called then. That's why I'm confused and thinking they did. Because if not, they probably would have called the cops then if they thought it was enough where they're like, okay. If not, they just would have cleaned it up then. Or maybe they were waiting. Maybe their policy is less they wait for like a day to see if there's any crimes. I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. My leg is hurting for some reason. But what I don't, this is what's confusing me on the timeline, guys. He said 1 a.m. the cops go and say a welfare check, but that was after Nick would have been arrested, right? If I'm understanding the timeline right, he's arrested that next night. The cops don't even know he was at the hotel till after. I mean, if he checked in at 4 a.m., so it can't be that night that they went at 1 a.m. the night of the murder because he didn't check in till 4 a.m., right? So the welfare check would have been after Nick was already arrested. So why is that just like they were just telling him that so they let him in or something? I guess, cops sometimes have to lie because maybe the hotel wouldn't have let. But couldn't they just say there was a murder? He's a suspect. Or maybe because maybe they would have to wait to get a warrant or something. So them saying a welfare check, they could get in right away. Maybe that's it. Because he was already arrested. From what I understand the timeline, by 1 a.m. he was already arrested. He was arrested earlier that night. So were they just lying? And said a welfare check? Obviously they had to be. Because if not, the timeline doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure I thought I understood it until that. But no, they had to just be lying. Because he would already been arrested by then. All right, guys. Now maybe I will put together a timeline for everybody because it does sound like there's some people that don't understand it or that are getting kind of confused. I don't know. I thought it was. Hold on. Why was I thinking they said 9 at night is when he got arrested? But let me see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was later than that. I don't know why I have 9 in my head, but I could be wrong. Shoot. I might have to. What video did I watch where it said? I'm not finding it right now. Hold on, let me see. Wait, what time? Oh, that's why I think I put the wrong wordage. That's surveillance on the thing. It doesn't have a timestamp. 9:15 p.m. Yep, I was right. Yeah, so that was 9:15. So 1 a.m. he would have already been arrested. So they probably are just lying because my guess is, if not, they would have had to. They would have to wait for a warrant. It's my guess. So if they said, "Hey, we're investigating this thing," they might be like, "Well, I don't know if that's the case, but maybe it would. Maybe they know that they'd be like, okay, well, we have to have a warrant, and then they don't want to wait in a welfare check. Of course, they'll do it for a welfare check right away. But then it's like, do they really have to have a warrant if the hotel? I don't know. Because knowing if they say we already arrested the guy, you're not invading any privacy. I mean, he's arrested. Like, and now he's not paying for the room anymore. The room's out of his name. So, I mean, they said he didn't check out, but did they wait, now I'm thinking so different now. So when I first heard he didn't check out, what I thought they meant is he just didn't physically check out because a lot of people really don't though. You just leave and you don't physically actually go down and check out. But did they mean though that he just kept that tab open and that he didn't check out as in he had it for another night until he checks out? Is that what they were insinuating? Because if that's the case, then yeah, they might not have cleaned it. And yeah, they would probably need to say welfare check and lie because if he's paying for that room, they would probably need a warrant and they don't want to wait for a warrant. So that might be it. Maybe he had that room another night. Well, so yeah, see, here's the thing. What I was saying is I thought he was already checked out, so it wouldn't matter. He doesn't have any legal rights to it. I thought he just rented it for one night. And I thought when they meant he didn't check out that as far as you just didn't physically go down and check out. You know what I'm saying? That you only get it for one night, but then it's still, you didn't check out, but they're still going to rent it out. You know what I'm saying? You only paid for one night. That's what I thought. So then in that case, it wouldn't be legally his. He'd be out of there, right? But like I said, now I'm considering I was thinking about it wrong. So yes, 100%. If he was still there, if they meant that he was still had it another night, then yes, he would need they would need a warrant. So yeah, that's making more sense. It's got to be that because they wouldn't have had to lie if not, I feel like. And I feel like they lie because they don't want to wait for a warrant. And good chance that they didn't clean it up, because if he was I thought he was checked out, and I was like, well, of course they're going to clean it up for the next person. But if he didn't check out and there was that big of a mess, they may have just left it there. And you know what I'm saying? I know the cleaning rooms, sometimes they'll come in and they'll make the bed the next, but they may have left it. If it's like blood and stuff, they might not I don't know. I don't know what their policy is. I'm just hoping that they didn't clean up that blood. That's what I thought, Flo Joe. I mean, that's what I thought they meant, but I'm getting confused then. But why would the cops need to lie about that then? Oh, I don't know. The whole time that's what I thought until just right this second. Till we're talking about it. And now I'm wondering if I misunderstood it. Because sometimes I do that. I think one way and then I find out, oh, that's what they meant. Well, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, no, I get that. If he didn't check, you don't have to physically check. I know, a lot of times I wouldn't either. You don't, it's not like, I've even talked to him before. Like, no, you don't have to actually come in and physically check out because you don't have to return anything. And those cards you just throw away or whatever. But what I'm saying is, that's how I understood it. But maybe when they say he didn't check out, maybe they meant like he was going to get the room for more nights, not that, oh, he didn't check out, so we're just going to reserve it for another night. No, they wouldn't do that until, because they need permission to charge your card. They're not going to hold your room. I'm not saying that. I know that, but I'm saying maybe they meant that he still had the room, like he paid for another night. I don't freaking know. Like maybe he paid for a few nights and that's what they meant. He didn't check out. Maybe they meant that. I mean, think about it though. We all thought that it just meant he didn't physically check out, but think about somebody saying that he didn't check out. That could mean two different things. It could mean he didn't physically check out or he was still there. You know what I'm saying? He was still paying for the room. I don't know. But I mean, I think most of us, I think what me and you were thinking, Flo Joe, the first time, but now I'm just reconsidering stuff. That's all. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Yeah, most people just leave. I always used to. Just leave. I mean, because there's like no use. It doesn't serve any use for you to check, like to go down there. And, yeah. And now, if you're with my dad, he would be one to always like, oh, we gotta go check. Just I guess I bet you like older people because they're probably used to having like when they had keys or certain things where you'd have to do it. But yeah, you don't have to check out. But that's what I thought they meant, right? Shoot. I wish I had I could just call TMZ because they're the ones that had that and be like, hey, tell me what you mean by that. Did you mean I want to know if there was blood. I want to know if they cleaned that up, dude. I have too many questions. All right. Bye, guys. I'm going to go. My leg is hurting and I got to edit these videos, but, okay, so I guess it probably just depends. Everybody's different. Okay. Yeah, my dad does too. So I mean, everybody has their own little thing. I think I don't because I'm always running behind where I just make it just in time to get out the door. I feel like it's always I have somewhere else, I have somewhere to go or something, and it's I'm always rushed or something where I don't feel like taking the time because I'm always I feel like in the past it's always I have something I got to do or something in my head or who knows. It's just my busy head all the time. Oh, thanks, Bobby. And hot soul, I'm glad you're here, by the way. Hey. Thanks for the gift too. I gotta put that on. I gotta use that. All right, guys. Well, if you find those answers that we're talking about right now, if you have those, if you see it anywhere reported, please send it to me. Because I might not be checking tonight because I'm going to finish up my editing, so I'm probably not going to be checking stuff. I also got these files I just got. Oh, I got those. If you guys are following the Wade stuff, I got those files I ordered, like case. I don't know if I told you guys that. I ordered like case files or pictures, and I got them, but they are a pain in the butt. I have to freaking click on each one singly. Okay. The site's just all jacked up. Okay. So I download it. You can't download all because it makes the page unresponsive. So I have to do one by one. And each one takes like 4 to 5 minutes. And you can't click on the next one until the other one loads or it'll shut down the page. Oh my God. It's all day. All day I was doing that. And I was trying to get work done in between. And then I'd see because then if you don't click on it for a while, then it's like page non whatever. And it doesn't take long, like non-active or shutting it down. And that doesn't even take long for it to say that. So it's like I'm sitting there and I'm clicking on one screen and trying to get work done. And then I got to click on the other and then see if and I have to keep track on the one I just clicked on because it like unclicks. So it's like hard, like it's a little tricky on like, wait, which one did I already download? It's just been a pain. It's a pain in the butt, guys. So that's my life right now. So I have to finish doing that as I'm editing some videos. That David video, I freaking put like hours into it. And then I haven't worked on it in like 3 days because it's been busy with this Reiner case. So now I'm going back to it. And now I forget. I had like everything in my head where I knew where to grab everything and work on it. And now it's like I'm not as quick doing it because it's been like 3 days. So I'm like, wait, where do I have this one? Where do I have this one? Or what was I going to do right here? Where, like, because I'm doing like a timeline mixed with, it started off as one thing and it turned into like a mix of a timeline mixed with what I was trying to do because it ended up turning into that as I was working on it. So anyway, so yeah. Oh, thanks, Callie. And then I still have to do the kiosks things for my Ko-Fi people that are joining my Ko-Fi. I have to get the next kiosk pictures ready and stuff, which that takes forever because you have to put them in groups of by white wife, and then I get their kiosk messages together per person. So yeah, I got a lot of different things I'm working on. All started, I feel like. So it's like I've been overwhelmed, but I'm gonna get some stuff done and I think there's a soul. I think I did it like this for Ko-Fi. I think, and I shouldn't have. I debated to not put it, but the reason I did it this way is because that's the site here. I think, but maybe I should have just did it that way. I think you have to put the hyphen in there. So like this. I think you have to go. I think that's how I did it. Let me see. Yep, you have to put the hyphen. Sorry, I should have changed it. I debated when I was making it if I should put the hyphen. I'm sorry. I think I did it because hold on, let me see. Because if you just type it in and it comes up without that, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, it's the reason I put it is because the site actually has hyphen in it, the website. But you don't, if you Google it and don't put the hyphen, it still comes up. So I should just, I don't know. Oh, Cat Fab, thank you. Thank you for being here. And Kelly Girl, Mrs. Italy, thank you. Just Stargazer. Who else do we got? Bobby, thank you again. Bobby with an I. Flojo. Jocelyn. Yeah, for real. For real. Who else? I'm scrolling up, but it's in the same people that I already said hi to. Trying to find a new one. Michael. Oh, Michelle. Sorry, that's Michelle. Sorry. I didn't see the L. I saw the L, but I thought it was it. Yeah. Michelle Anderson. Gustavo Morez. Kalohi. Oh, I think Kalohi. You're probably mad at me. Kalohi. Anthony, Amber Am, King Beniza. Thank you guys. Soul for Shauna, Pam's Wildlife, King Abita. And that's another thing I'm doing. I'm trying to get some shorts from my last few lives of this case, some highlights. I'm making, I want to get together some shorts for it too. Because I covered a lot of different like highlighted topics, like especially yesterday. So I wanted to make a bunch of shorts from that. You know, people just scrolling, they could get quick information. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, sitting with Zeke. I promise I got to take off tomorrow, but my taking off is sitting on the couch with Zeke, but doing shorts because I could just do them right from my phone. Okay. I'll see you guys. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, everybody. Love ya. Bye.